Last month, we did 21.1K in commission, and this month we're on track to do 38. TikTok's not a platform where people go on to buy things. TikTok is a platform where people want to be entertained or educated.
What does that look like doing this as a couple, but having some videos where maybe you guys are together and some where you're individual? What does that look like?
The number one thing that we've noticed that's been the most important thing that we struggled in the very beginning is not being part of a community.
I want you to break down what you did that is causing this so much success. Welcome back to Brands Meet Creators. We're a team of expert content creators that help other creators make money creating content and grow in their career. Whether you're focusing on UGC, TikTok Shop, the Amazon Influencer Program, or you simply want to grow your own social media accounts, we're here to help you. You can even join our Brands Meet Creators Academy, where you'll have access to weekly live coaching calls, exclusive brand opportunities, a 24/7 supportive creator community, and online courses and tools that will teach you how to make better content and get paid to do it. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, this is the place to connect with coaches and other creators. And you can even get started with our academy for free by using the link below. Now let's get into today's video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Brands Meet Creators. Today we are interviewing an amazing TikTok Shop creator. His name is Josh, and in the last 30 days even, he has generated over $120,000 in GMV. He has a lot of good tips. He's a dad, he's a husband. He has a lot of things to share with us. So Josh, thank you so much for being here.
You know what? I'm absolutely honored to be here. I think being in the over 40 club, it feels out of place, but I'm absolutely honored to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Of course. And honestly, I interviewed somebody yesterday that's also in the over 40 club. So I think you guys are crushing it. And I'm so excited to get into this and not only share the video that's doing the best for you and kind of break that down, but also just hear some of the things you're doing because you have such a different lifestyle than me. I do want to ask you, when did you get into TikTok Shop?
So actually, my born on date was August 12th. And I'm a researcher by nature, so I didn't dive right in. I'm like, I want to know everything before I get in. I want to make sure that I'm making all my efforts worth my time. And so we got in at August 12th. And then I really didn't even post my first video until August 23rd. And then I woke up the next morning and I had my first sale. And be honest with you, that video has only done one sale so far. But it got me started. So we really didn't start getting serious about TikTok Shop. I say we, my wife is a career. There's a story behind all that. My wife has had an amazing career in the secular world. And so with me, I came on and I'm like, I need to do something. I've been a stay-at-home dad for 15 years. I've went from being a stay-at-home dad to my youngest now is too old. Now I'm just a trophy husband. So I'm like, I got to kind of figure out something that I'm going to do with my life. And so decided I was going to take on trying some TikTok stuff. And believe it or not, I'm like, I didn't tell anybody because I'm 49. I'm like, I don't want anybody to know this is what I'm doing. But I got approved and I tried it. And so I didn't really start doing anything until probably the mid of September. And on September 30th, my wife was invited into the office of her work and was told that they were going to downsize and her position was eliminated. And we were a single income home. And so there was major divine intervention, we believe. We're strong in our faith. And we believe there was some divine intervention in that. And it was just taking off. TikTok Shop for me was just beginning to take off. Literally the week of that was really when things started taking. It was just crazy. This whole thing is crazy to me.
I mean, it's beautiful how that happens, though. That's so exciting. So you did a lot of research. You started taking this a little bit more seriously. What did that look like? Because you said you don't have a job, right?
I do not know. I have a lot of jobs, but no, I don't have a full-time income job, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So what it looked like for me, so basically what it looked like is I highly competitive, right? Everybody in my family is, my children, my wife, myself are very competitive. So when I find something, I'm like, hey, there's something to this because I've tried so many things in the past. I've tried creating a SaaS, software service. I've tried all these different things, drop shipping, all the things that everybody has tried before. I've tried all these things, nothing's worked. And when I posted one video and there was a sale, even though I only made $3, I'm like, there's something with this. And so I went into research mode. And to be honest with you, one of the very first things I came across was BMC. And I'm like, I'm going to consume everything that I'm finding right now. Tony Robbins' quote really sticks out to me. It says, if you want to learn something, if you want to be successful at something, find somebody else that's already doing it successfully and then model them. And I took that on as a very serious thing. And I'm like, okay, they're saying, you need to post so many videos a day and you need to really pay attention to the viral products. And I started looking like, where are people finding viral products? And so I really started doing a lot of research and then trying to model all of those things.
So, how many videos do you post every day?
If you are a TikTok Shop affiliate and you want to maximize your earnings, we want to send you our free TikTok Shop newsletter. In the newsletter, you will get the latest tips, trending hooks, insider updates, all delivered straight to your inbox. And you can even unlock bonus commission on the hottest trending products. All you have to do is sign up using the link below.
So I looked this up, okay, and I actually asked my wife, I'm like, how many videos do you think that we've posted since we've started this? And she had to sit for a while and she said, I don't know, maybe 250. We've posted 400 videos in the last 60 days.
Okay, wait. So, what is that in math? 400. I'm horrible at math. Do you know
Yeah,
the
that's
math?
fine.
Like,
It's from the very beginning, it's roughly 4 videos a day if you go all the way back to the beginning, but I know that we really didn't start doing that till later. It's between 6 and 8 videos a day.
that's just amazing. How many different products are you promoting? Is it kind of the same product over the span of multiple videos, or what does that look like for you?
So we're very much swim against the stream and try things that people don't try. So we have a mixed bag of everything on our channel, which really kind of goes against what everyone says. Like you should stick to one thing, like female, like clothing, and guys should stick to electronics. And so we do both, and we are starting to really find a lot of success. We haven't really had massive 10 million view videos, but we do have a video over 1 million views. But we've found a lot of success in multiple items, and they're a mixed bag of things.
Honestly, I do the same thing. I just want you to know. I know that my whole team is like, do 1 or 2 products, multiple videos, which works. That works. But I love that you're bringing this up because it also works to do just a variety of different things. To me, I'm like, what am I excited about? And that's what I really focus on. So it sounds like you guys split the work maybe. Maybe you do more right now. I don't know what that looks like, but it sounds like you guys are like, oh, I want to promote this. I'm going to promote this. And it's not that you're like, it has to be within this. And then you get burnt out from it.
Yeah, 100%. What we learned, we got into the sample problem in the beginning, right? Everybody is, we found some success right away. And so now they want to send us samples and we're like, ooh, free stuff. And we realized, wait a minute, we don't even like half these things. And so we started figuring out, wait a minute, what do we actually like? And the videos that are doing extremely well are things that we use on a daily basis and that we love as an individual and even as a couple. And, we can kind of talk a little bit about those items in general.
What does that look like doing this as a couple, but having, some videos where maybe you guys are together and some where you're individual? What does that look like?
It looks exactly like that. So it is a lot of things we've realized, like some things I want to go record on my own. Some things she wants to go record on her own. I do all the editing. I'd shared with you, I do have a podcast, so I'm familiar with, that type of editing. So I do all of the edits. I do everything in the TikTok app, which was a struggle for me in the beginning because I'm like, no, that's not professional editing. But TikTok has taught me a lot about me and the way that I do videos is that it's more raw because TikTok's not a platform where people go on to buy things. TikTok is a platform where people want to be entertained or educated. And then in the meantime, you could, encourage them to purchase something. And so I've had to change that. And so with my wife and I doing things together, we'll do skits once in a while. I'll record her, she'll record me, or we'll do things together.
That's amazing. And oh gosh, there's so many questions that I have, but I feel like it's also just so different than what other people are doing. So, what is another thing that you feel like has been working for you that maybe you don't hear often, or just a piece of advice you'd want to give people right now?
My biggest piece of advice that, believe it or not, is people can really have a negative way of looking at the traffic and the algorithm and all of that. And to be honest with you, that stuff is all a mystery anyway. It's consistency that's been the number one thing for us and staying away from all of the negativity. That's why I like being part of something like a community of like BMC has been a major help. Listen, I'm the person that I'll go pay to be part of every community and find out which one's the best. And BMC for me has been the hands down greatest. And you can ask my wife. I rant and rave because people are not going in this community and they're not saying, oh, the traffic and oh, these things and why doesn't it love me? And that has been one of the things that I've learned to stay away from, like Facebook groups, and it brings you down because it's easy to get fixated on the numbers. Instead, let's fixate on things we can control. Those are things like consistency, looking what other people are doing. How can I model it? Paying attention to the things that are working and not getting caught up on focusing on the things that don't work. Those are some major helpful things. And not being part of imposter syndrome at being, I'm 49 years old and thinking to myself, the average person on TikTok is 18 years old, which is not true. The average buyer for us is in their 50s, believe it or not. And so that's kind of shocking, and not being thinking that I'm an imposter here on something that's not winnable. It's just not true.
Yeah, I love that within Brands Meet Creators, our whole leadership team, we never blame the algorithm. And we're always like, that's what it is. What's happening is what's happening. Let's look ahead. Let's keep going because you can only control what you're doing. You can't always control this anomaly computer algorithm that none of us understand.
Spot on. Yeah, it's one
Wow.
thing I got caught up early on because I'm like, well, if the numbers are saying this, that I'm doing something wrong. And that's just not how it works. Consistency is what pays. Number one, TikTok wants people to stay on the platform. And if your videos are not performing in a way that aren't keeping people engaged and on the platform, then you know what? You just got to post more videos and get better. That's the thing that's made me better. My biggest struggle so far has been being a salesperson on these videos. Unhelpful. My wife has to look at me and she's like, "You're being too salesy. You got to do this over." And it's easy for me because I want to sell it. I want to convince people. And that's not how it works. It's being natural and comfortable. And the only way you're going to get better at that is by recording more videos. And that's why we record 6, 8, 10 videos a day.
Yeah, your growth in this short amount of time, I want everyone to know this that's listening. It's not that, oh, you showed up a little bit and you got this in the 10 weeks. It's you're doing so much within the 10 weeks that it's really equivalent to the average person's 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, we're putting in 10, 14, 16-hour days. We're putting in the work. This is not a passive income thing, okay? It is takes work, but it's literally changing our lives. It literally is changing our lives.
Oh, and that is everything that I'm passionate about is how big of a difference this is making for families and for people in general, especially people who've never seen money like this. Like TikTok Shop is just crazy right now. So I would love to share my screen. Let's watch your top performing video, the one that has gotten you the most sales. I can see exactly why you have so many sales, but we're going to watch it together. And then afterwards, I want you to break down what you did that is causing this so much success.
Stop buying your dad these gifts. I'm a 49-year-old dad of 4 kids, and they've been buying me gifts for a lot of years. And let me tell you, I do not have the heart every year to tell them that I don't want the things they're getting me. So I'm here to help you get the right gifts this year. Coffee mugs. Dad does not need, nor does he want more coffee mugs. No matter how much he makes you think that he does not. Stop doing this. Slippers. I know you think they're good, but they're not. And I know he'll tell you he wants them for the garage or for the basement or for the house or for whatever. He doesn't want any more slippers. Stop buying these. Instead, you need to get him one of these. What is this? Let me tell you. This is a 50-in-1 electronic screwdriver. Yeah, that's exactly right. Check this thing out. 50-in-1 because there's 50 different pieces, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But it's an electronic screwdriver is what it is. You can get it right here on TikTok Shop. All you got to do is change the different modes on here. There's forward, back, and a lock mode. There you go right there. Plus there's a light that's on it. Forward and back. 3.7 volts. Plus, look at all of the bits that come with it. All magnetic, yes, and it all houses inside of this little container right here that when you push it down, it locks it, and then all you got to do is put the tool back in it, and the same thing locks, and there you go. I'm going to leave the link below.
Oh my goodness. It's crazy how amazing of a video this is. What do you think that you did that made this perform so well?
I mean, honestly, I can break it down probably into 3 major chunks, but I think there's a lot of little things going on that do make a difference that I'm learning more about that I did even on accident. So the first big thing is a hook, right? I put on there, "Don't do this instead." And I think a lot of times right now, a lot of us creators, our affiliates are thinking that's overplayed. It's not though, because I'm displaying the things and I'm making people wait for the payoff to the end, right? I'm hooking them in and bringing them in. And then relatability, right? Relatability. I'm 49 now, I'm a dad, which means, hey, I know exactly what's going on. I don't want you to do this. But then I wrap everything with controversy. Don't do this. I make people think if you do this, this is the worst thing you can do. Your dad hates it. And I get so many negative comments like, don't tell me what my dad likes. My dad loves slippers. My dad loves coffee cups. And that's the majority of my engagement comes from those things. And then I do a call to action. Something very simple. I do slide in. TikTok Shop is where I bought it in the middle. And then I wrap up at the end, click down here and grab it. And it took off right away, actually. I mean, we were sitting, we had family over and friends over, and my wife looked over at me and she's like, it was up for like 2 hours, and she's like, this has 5,000 views already, And I'm like, no way. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I think that that product is so perfect, especially it's timely right now. I mean, I bought my dad, my stepdad, and my father-in-law all those gifts several different times, and I'm like, I don't know what to get them. So having a clear, like, get this instead is everything that I needed. I was sold immediately. Plus, that product is so aesthetic and practical and space saving, and I need it. I need to get it for my husband, so I am gonna buy that product immediately. But I just think that it's everything you said, and also you just said something that I've never heard, but you said you hook them, but then you need to keep reeling them in. Like, it's not that you hook and catch and you leave it to be. No, you need a hook, and then you need them to stay on the hook as you reel them in. And I just think that the whole like common cup or mug and slippers thing is exactly what most people buy their fathers. And you're a father saying this, so I trust you. I'm like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and it's the whole like POV talking into FaceTime, that concept of leaning down.
Yes.
I'm having a conversation, I'm leaning on the table, I'm leaning in, I'm eye to eye. I'm just having a casual conversation, but I'm having kind of this dad fatherly direct conversation like, stop doing this. Don't do this. This is what you need to do. And yeah, the majority of people that are going to be buying these gifts are going to be like, okay, well, this is probably what my dad would sound like right now. And he loves me too much to tell me otherwise. So this is probably the right gift.
You made it emotional. I always recommend people do something that causes an emotion. And for you to be like, I don't have the heart to tell them, that hit me so hard because I'm like, wow, my dad always loves our gifts, but I'm also like, does he though? So that was just so good. And you had the text on screen for those who scroll without sound, like me. You had the very specific, the link is below. So many people still don't know how to purchase an item on TikTok Shop. It's still so new, even if it doesn't feel like it is. So for you to be very direct, you had the 3 arrows, golden. You told them exactly what they needed, why they needed it, and where to find it.
Yeah, our 2 other biggest videos were posted within 1 day after this video because I saw what worked and I'm like, okay, we're just going to duplicate what worked. And the thing is, my age, my relatability, my wife's age, my wife's relatability, we started applying those things and it worked for us. It just worked for us. And so we try to keep recreating what's working, keep throwing gas on the fire, keep allowing it to burn and go until it stops working.
Exactly. And I honestly trust people exactly like you guys, where I'm like, oh, I trust people who are parents who have more years than I do that know what they're talking about. And so it's almost like, I know the lie of the 18-year-olds is such a lie. There are so many people over 30 on TikTok Shop and on TikTok in general, but I think that it almost is like an unsaturated market for you guys in terms of the TikTok Shop videos. So diving into that, it was just totally meant to be. It was obviously perfect timing.
Yeah, this has been something I can't believe, and just to share, maybe some few numbers, but just in the last almost 60 days, we've done almost 225,000 in GMV. And this month, my goal this month, because last month we did 21.1K in commission, and this month we're on track to do 38. And that to me is I'm getting goosebumps saying it because it doesn't even make any sense to me. When I wake up every day and I check, and at the end of the day, I check, all the work that we're put in and see how I'm like, is this actually real? At 49, we're like, this is not how this is supposed to be. This is for 25-year-olds. And so my level of encouragement to people that are in their 40s, get at it. Get at it. It's there and it's available.
Did you have the 5,000 followers before you started TikTok Shop?
No, I got invited early, and that's a whole story all on its own. That's a whole story all on its own. Yeah, the
The
whole thing's wild.
blessings.
Do you
There's
want to
so
hear the
many.
story?
Sure.
Okay. So I wanted to be an Amazon influencer, but I didn't want to be an influencer, right? So I'm like, well, that's the program to be part of. And so everybody's like, you don't need all the followers. You don't need that. But the easiest way is to use TikTok. I'm like, I don't even use TikTok. My wife has a TikTok. And so I commandeered her TikTok and I'm like, look, I'm going to take your TikTok and I'm just going to shoot some videos and I'm going to try and become an Amazon influencer. And the more I researched, I realized that what you want to be part of is TikTok Shop. But we had like 1,100 followers and I'm like, 5,000 is so far off. And so we went to a brand new movie, the second play of Twisters that came out, right? They had the original Twisters. We watched it in a brand new theater. It's a 3 screens on all 3 walls. And we were the first people in our state to go to this theater. We were the first ones to view it. We viewed it early. And my wife is sitting in there and it was started and she starts recording it from her phone in landscape mode. And I think to myself, this will make a neat TikTok, we'll try it. So I recorded 3 or 4. Went completely viral, like out of nowhere. And I knew enough about social, do more of this and it'll blow up. And by the time I hit 2,100 followers, TikTok invited me to be part of TikTok Shop. I scared my wife. I was in bed and I checked and I'm like, screamed. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, you wouldn't believe this. And at the time she had no clue. She's like, that's dumb. Who cares?" Until now, of course.
And now she's like, I take it all back.
Yes, she does. It's a great joke around our house, but yeah, I got invited early to it.
Yeah, there's like a very select few handful of people who got invited with the 1,000 followers, but it was literally just a few people, a few hundred, I think. So it's obviously meant to be. That's just so exciting. I know you're still like in the beginning. I feel like time is so irrelevant when it comes to anything in life, but especially with TikTok Shop and the success. But I feel like there's going to be so much more. I'm sure I'll have you back on here too, just to get an update 6 months from now to hear how everything's going because this is so just exciting and it's just crazy and unbelievable, but it is believable because it's your reality. And I appreciate you sharing that with all of us. What do you feel like you have had to overcome the most that you think that maybe people in your same shoes have struggled with and it's holding them back right now?
A couple things that are huge, that's been huge, and I mentioned them briefly, but imposter syndrome, thinking that you're not worthy and you can't, that you have to be this influencer, which is actually the opposite of what works on TikTok Shop. And so learning as I go along, like the less that I can believe that that's what it is and more of just being natural and being helpful, really being helpful to other people and that there is a format to it, but being helpful is what helps the most and less salesy, right? And it's not about selling people. It's about educating and entertaining and having fun with it. The more fun that we have, the more success we have. The number one thing that we've noticed that's been the most important thing that we struggled in the very beginning is not being part of a community. And that's where BMC has been something that's been a major part. If you want to go lives, Roxanne is outstanding. Like the information that BMC gives you, you guys should be charging a lot each month. I'm telling you, I'm part of other paid parties and you guys should be charging for the things that you guys give away for free. It is hands down the greatest community that I'm part of by far. And you guys should not walk, but run if you're part of being an affiliate to be part of this because the amount of information that I gather and the value that I get, it's invaluable. I've learned so much just in this short amount of time. So that's really my three major parts. I've struggled in the beginning with community and now I found a community. I'm bought in for life.
Well, I'm grateful to hear that. I know that Rox is amazing, Alyssa is amazing, and obviously everybody just in the community, people like you that have things to share that are also just open to sharing them. And that can change somebody's life. Like one piece of advice can change somebody's life. Obviously, a lot of the things that you've learned have completely transformed your whole family's life right now. So I just appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you've taken to chat with us. I'm sure we'll have you back on. If you are a person over 40, use Josh and Christy as inspiration and just know that you are not alone and you're not an anomaly. And honestly, there's a lot of people exactly like you who not only are wanting to do this, but are currently doing this and they're trying to get their consistency up. So don't stop. You guys got this. And Josh, one last thing, where can people find you on TikTok?
Super simple at Josh and Christy, and it's Christy with a K and ends in a Y. Josh and Christy, that's it.
I love it. Guys, go follow them. Thank you again. I appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day. Everybody listening, Josh, tell Christy I said hello.
I sure
And if
will.
you are watching this, if you have questions, comment in the YouTube below, and we'll see you in the next video.